Good morning and namaste. Today is Wednesday and our general topic day. So today's topic, in fact, is very general. Everybody is interested in it. And we do talk about it from time to time. But today, uh, I thought that let's talk about it again. And it is happiness. Because we all want to be happy. Everything we do in our life is for happiness. But if we look at the statistics, over the last 100 years of human history, number of millionaires on the planet Earth has increased 1,000 times. But have you ever heard or read that number of happy people have increased even tenfold? If not, doesn't this mean the external luxuries and opulences are not correlated with inner happiness? I want you to pay attention and look at the connection between becoming a happier person and a better person. Because if the happiness was related to popularity and material success, why so many popular people, rich people, they were practically bankrupt inside? And I'm sure you know quite a few of those popular people. On the other hand, we have an example of Helen Keller. When she was 18 months, she lost her hearing and sight due to some infection. She read through Braille. She gave lectures. She traveled all over. She died at the age of 87 and said, "My life has been so beautiful. I have enjoyed every moment of my life." So this is the example of being better and being happier. Our mind is so powerful, it can make a hell or heaven in the same situation. That's why it said that happiness is not the function of the external, but it is dependent upon the inner state of mind. So the way to happiness is directly correlated to self-improvement. Self-improvement. If we strive to be a better person, we can be. And then we can definitely find happiness. It's right inside us. Another name for God is happiness, Anand. And the Vedic scripture says that God is infinite. The meaning of Brahma is infinite. Brihatvat Brahma. It's infinite and existent, vast in creation. He's holding everything. Just imagine the extent of God. And then this God is not a miser either. There's another definition to define Brahm is Vrignavat Brahm. God is he who makes others infinite. It could be infinite in anything. So today's topic is happiness. So this is what I'm going to focus on. How can we increase our desire to improve ourselves and become happy at the same time? Let's look at some of the things which happy people do, because I know you must know a lot of happy people. Or sometimes they are happy. Because it's said that there are two types of people in the world. Those who choose to be happy and those who choose to be unhappy. So that's why you know both of them. So contrary to popular belief, happiness does not come from fame, fortune, from other people or material possessions. It comes from within. The richest person in the world could be miserable, while a homeless person could be right outside, no roof on his head, but very happy. So, how do some people stay happy and others don't? As I said earlier, that quality of a person, the inner qualities, that's what really depend whether you are choosing happiness or not. So if you ask a happy person, what are those qualities? I'm going to list some of the qualities for you. They'll say that we don't hold grudges. Happy people understand that it's better to forgive and forget than to let their negative feelings crowd out their positive feeling. Because holding a grudge has a lot of detrimental effects on your well-being, depression, anxiety, and stress. Why let anyone who has wronged you have power over you? Got to ask this question to ourselves. If you let go of all your grudges, you will gain a clear conscience and enough energy to enjoy the good things in life. Another thing they'll tell you, that they treat everyone with kindness. Everyone. I'm sure you know that it has been scientifically proven that being kind makes you happy. Every time you perform a selfless act, your brain produces serotonin. And I'm sure you're familiar with that term. It's a hormone that eases tension and lifts your spirit. So not only that, but treating people with love, dignity, and respect also allows you to build stronger relationships. Another habit which we need to cultivate to be happy is problems do come in life, but we got to have a different attitude for the problems. See problems as challenges. Because the term problem is never a part of happy person's vocabulary. Because problem is viewed as a drawback, a struggle, or even an unstable situation, while a challenge is viewed as something positive, like an opportunity, a task, or even a dare. Whenever you face an obstacle, try looking at it as a challenge. Because by trying to go over the challenge, you will build that special muscle. Happy people express gratitude for what they already have. Instead of focusing on what we don't have, they are grateful for what they have. There's a popular saying that goes something like this: the happiest people don't have the best of everything, they just make the best of everything they have. You will have a deeper sense of contentment if you count your blessings instead of yearning for what you don't have. That's why Rishi Patanjali in the Yoga Sutras put a sutra over there where he said, Santoshat anuttamam sukhnava. Sukhi. Sukhi means happy, but not just an ordinary happy, anuttamam, the best of the best, the highest of the highest. So contentment. Happy people dream big. People who get into the habit of dreaming big are more likely to accomplish their goals than those who do not. If you dare to dream big, your mind will put itself in a focused and positive state. And when your mind is focused on something, achieving something, you don't worry about small obstacles or small unhappy moments. Next one is don't sweat the small stuff. Happy people ask themselves, will this problem matter a year from now? Or sometimes even a week from now? They understand that life's too short to get worked up over trivial situations. They know how to let the things roll off their back. That's how they feel at ease. Because they know that they need to do some more important things in life than sweating over the small stuff. And most of the things which we worry about are small. Another thing happy people do, they speak well of others. Because being nice feels better than being mean. As fun as gossiping is, it normally will leave you feeling guilty and resentful because you're talking behind somebody's back and you are saying something negative. So it just really makes you feel bad. So happy people don't do that. If they want to say something about somebody, they'll say nice things about because everybody got nice qualities also. So they stay positive, non-judgmental about other people. That's how they stay happy. Happy people never make excuses. Benjamin Franklin once said, he that is good for making excuses is seldom good for anything else. So happy people don't make excuses or blame others for their own failures in life or for their own unhappiness. Instead, they own up to their mistakes, and by doing so, they proactively try to change for the better. That's how they cultivate good and better qualities. Happy people stay absorbed in the present. They know how to live in the now. That means that they don't dwell on the past or worry about the future. Whatever learning they did from the past, they learn it, but they live in the present with that kind of a lesson. They savor the present. They let themselves get immersed in whatever they are doing at the moment. Just like there's a popular saying, stop and smell the roses. Don't always rush into the future or don't worry about the past. Live in the present. That will give you happiness. Happy people wake up at the same time every morning. And we know in order to wake up at the same time early morning, we have to sleep at the same time early also. Early to bed and early to rise also. Happy people do that. I'm sure you have read some of the successful people's autobiographies, and you might have seen that there's a most of those people, they tend to be early risers. And waking up at the same time every morning stabilizes your circadian rhythm. Your body knows what to do. You don't struggle with your body. You go with that rhythm. And that's how you increase your productivity. And that's how you stay calm and in a centered state of mind. Calm and standard state of mind is a great possession. Otherwise, we keep on losing our energy through a disruptive mind, agitated mind, unfocused mind. Happy people avoid social comparisons because everyone works at his or her own pace. So why compare yourself to others? If you think you are better than someone else, you gain an unhealthy sense of superiority. If you think someone else is better than you, end up feeling bad about yourself. You'll be happier if you focus on your own progress and praise others on theirs. Next one is choose friends wisely. Yesterday we were talking about it, that we are the average of the 5 people we have a close contact with on a daily basis. So choose friends wisely because misery loves company. That's why it's important to surround yourself with optimistic people, people who have desire to become better, because they will encourage you to achieve your goals also. So the more you are in a positive energy, the better you will feel about yourself. Another quality these happy people have, they never seek approval from others. Others means everybody around you. Sure, there are certain people, some guide, some guru, parents, teacher, they go to, but not everybody. So happy people don't care what others think of them. They follow their own hearts or the guidance of the wise people without letting naysayers discourage them. They understand that it is impossible to please everybody. They listen to people, what they have to say, but they never seek anyone's approval but their own or the wise people's. Happy people take time to listen. That means in order to listen, we have to talk less. So talk less and listen more. Listening keeps your mind open to others, wisdom and outlooks on the world. The more intensely you listen, the quieter your mind gets because you are focusing your energy into what other is about to say. And this is a quietness, not only outer quietness, but the inner quietness also. This is how the people feel more content and happy. Happy people nurture social relationships. A lonely person feels very miserable. Happy people understand how important it is to have strong, healthy, good relationships. Always take time to see and talk to your family, friends, or significant other. Another quality happy people have, they meditate. Because meditating silences your mind and helps you find inner peace. And I'm sure most of you are practicing it and you can vouch for that. You don't have to be a Zen master unless you want to be, but 10 to 15 minutes of meditation on a regular basis will help. So happy people know how to silence their minds anywhere. Because if you practice this every day for 10 to 15 minutes, you will know how to silence this mind when it goes into the unhappy mode. Anywhere, anytime, they will know how to calm their mind and calm their nerves. Happy people eat well because this body of ours, the physical body, Annamaya Kosh, survives on the food. So we need to eat well also. Junk food makes you sluggish. We all know this. And it's difficult to be happy when you're in that kind of a state. Everything you eat directly affects your body's ability to produce hormones, which will dictate your moods, energy, and mental focus. So be sure to eat foods that will keep your mind and body in good shape. Because in an unhealthy body, there cannot be a happy mind. Next one is exercise. Studies have shown that exercise raises happiness levels. Exercising also boosts your self-esteem and gives you a higher sense of self-accomplishment. You feel comfortable in this body, which is a house where you reside when you exercise. Happy people, they live minimally. That means simply. They rarely keep clutter around the house because they know that extra belongings weigh them down, make them feel overwhelmed, and stress them out. So, some studies have concluded that in certain countries, European countries, people are a lot happier than in America. In America, everything is bigger. Cars, the fridge, the homes, the bigger we have, the more we stuff it. The basements, the outhomes. So extra room, extra clutter outside and inside also. Another point I want to make, happy people tell the truth. And this is also one of the virtues Rishi Patanjali mentioned in Yog Darshan. Satyam, tell the truth. Lying stresses you out, corrodes your self-esteem, and makes you unlikable. Because if you know somebody who does not tell the truth, even when they are telling the truth, you don't know whether to believe them or not. So that's why we got to cultivate this habit. We know that the truth will set you free. Being honest improves your mental health and it builds others' trust in you. Always be truthful, never apologize for it. Next one is establish personal control. Happy people, they have the ability to choose their own destinies. They don't let others tell them how they should live their lives. So they are completely in control of their own life. And that's how they bring positive feelings and great sense of self-worth. Because they have done a lot of work on themselves. They know what they are. They know what the weaknesses are, how I'm going to let go of the weaknesses and how I'm going to build more and more strength in me. Last but not least, they accept what cannot be changed. Because often we are unhappy because we just don't want to accept what is. So they accept. Because once you accept the fact that life is not fair, you will be more at peace with yourself. Instead of obsessing over how unfair life is, just focus on what you can control and change it for the better. So I'm sure you can add to this list, but the idea is to cultivate these inner qualities so that we can be happy. It's not that we should not have a material success, a better job, or a better house, or a better car, but the happiness which we are looking for does not come from those material things. Do all that happily instead of do all that for happiness. Happiness will be when we cultivate these qualities. So I saw some of you were writing, so if you have missed some point, let me know. Otherwise, I can go through all of them quickly. Does no? Everybody got it?
Could you just, yeah, that would be nice if you went through all of them just
Okay.
and
Don't hold grudges.
define the uh, Vigravat and Brihatvat.
Oh,
One.
that one. Okay. So those are two definitions from the Vedas. Okay. So Brihadvat, Brahma. Brihadvat, that means Brahma or God is infinite. So the reason I just brought this out, this definition today, because we want to be happy and more happy. If we connect with God, we can be happy. There's no ceiling on that. So brihad means big. And vrignatvat, that means that God makes others also the same. So it's not that God says, I am big. God says, you can be big too. Okay? So God is He who makes others infinite. So He's not miserly. Normally, we see as an average human being, sure, we want to become better and we want others to become better too, but a notch less than us. But God doesn't do that. God says, no, you all can become just like me. Okay? So Brihatvat and Vrignatvat. Okay? So let me go over these. There are 22 these qualities which I mentioned today. Don't hold grudges. Okay? Treat everyone with kindness. Everyone. And kindness is not just with the words, with your thoughts also. Because we are cultivating the happiness which is internal happiness. So thoughts. See problems as challenges. Give a little positive twist to it. Because if we say it's a problem, then definitely you're unhappy. When it's a challenge, hey, I can handle it. Express gratitude for what they already have. Because often we look at it, what I don't have. We have so much and we are not grateful for. We cannot even put value to this body, human body which God gave us. Power to see, power to hear, power to speak, power to think, power to understand, power to walk. We cannot put any value to it. So express gratitude for what you already have. Dream big. And what is big? I want to become one with God. I want to attain that liberation in this lifetime. I want to be happy no matter what. That is a dream big. Sure, in the worldly sense also, if you want to dream big, go ahead. But as a students of spirituality, we got to dream big in this area also. Next one is don't sweat the small stuff. Sometimes we just waste our precious time, precious moment. The time which we are supposed to help others, time we are supposed to meditate or pray or take care of ourselves, we just keep on worrying. So don't sweat the small stuff. Speak well of others. Everybody got some qualities. Everybody. In the nature, we know how to do it. We look at a rose bush. Sure, there are more thorns on the rose bush, but we call it a rose bush. When it's a thundering, right away we say, yeah, we need water. It's good that it's a thundering and lightning and raining. In the nature, we accept it. But somehow in our fellow beings, we don't. So if you want to be happy, speak well of others. Never make excuses. Oh, I cannot get up in the morning. My nature is like that. Or this is how I do things. So we often make excuses. Oh, I'm just a lazy kind. I was born that way. My stars are not good. Those are all excuses. I don't have a happiness gene. No, we can choose to be happy no matter what. Get absorbed into the present. Learn how to live in the moment. Because most of the time in the moment, there's nothing wrong. And we can be happy and expand into that. Then next one I said, wake up at the same time and go to bed at the same time. And make sure you wake up early morning before sun rises. What do I always say to you? You should see sun rising. Not the sun should see you rising. Okay, that is the criteria. So early morning, okay, before sunrise. Avoid social comparison. I'm better than that, I'm less than that. No, just focus on yourself more. Choose friends wisely. Be aware of the sang ka rang. And this friends, not just in the physical company of human beings, this means the books also, the TV shows we watch, the movies we watch, how much news we keep on watching, because all that is coloring your mind. Because if you want to be happy, choose it wisely. What is the source of that information? What is the source of that news? Is there any truth to it or not? Yesterday in Narad Bhakti Sutras, what did we learn? Very clearly, Narad Munichi said, do sang and kusang should be avoided always. He said, cultivate the satsang and let go of the kusang at any cost. Okay, so choose friends wisely if you want to be happy. Never seek approval from others. Often we just want to do things so that others approve us. No, you should have a confidence in yourself. My life. Okay, take time to listen. Nurture social relationships. Certain relationships are very important for us. And those relationships are our duties also. We should not unnecessarily expand our relationships. We don't want to become so popular because Lord Krishna says Bhagat is not very popular. Does not go to every party where he or she is invited. But there are certain duties we have towards certain relationships, towards our children, towards our parents, our siblings, our partner. There are certain relationships. Those we should definitely take care of. So that's why I said nurture social relationships. Don't become bahusangi. Because if we are bahusangi, we know so many people. Can we nurture relationships? We cannot. There are only 24 hours a day. When we going to work on ourselves and when we going to nurture those relationships? So be wise. The next one I said meditate. Meditation should be, if not more, as important as eating, sleeping, bathing, exercising. It's one of those things which should be done every single day. Meditate. We all have heard about it, read about it, the benefits of meditation. But doing meditation, we must do. Nobody can do it for us. Meditation. Eat well. We eat several times a day. Whenever you put something in your mouth, remember, it is becoming your body and your mind. Is it good for me? Or is it just good only for the taste and you don't care what happens later on to the mind and to the body? Then you won't be happy. So eat wisely. Wisely. Okay? Exercise. Whether you run, you do yoga, or you go to the gym, whatever form of exercise is good for your body and stage in life. But every day you should exercise. Every single day, some form of exercise. Live minimally. That means simply. Simple life is a better life, a happier life. Always tell the truth so that there's no burden on your mind. Otherwise, if you start telling the lies, to this person I said this and to the other person something else, can never be happy. You're putting a burden on your mind. Tell the truth. Establish personal control and accept what cannot be changed. A lot of things we cannot change. Yesterday I was mentioning there are two worlds we live in, external world and internal world. External world we cannot change. God created it. We cannot say that the sun should rise a little late so that I can sleep in. It's going to happen. That's God created. But inner world we can change. We can do that. We are going through tough time these days. COVID cannot change it. But we can change our own routine. We can take precautions so that we are safe. So accept what cannot be changed. So I'm sure you can add a lot of other points to it, but basically, happier you are, closer you will feel towards godliness. Unhappy person cannot do meditation. Unhappy person, even when does the prayers, is not as effective. Choose to be happy. This is our choice. And by cultivating these qualities, we know how to choose to be happy. I have another list of 15 things which you need to give up to be happy. See, this was a list of the things you need to do to be happy. So 15 things. Give up your need to always be right. I'm sure you have read this other places too. Because we always want to be right. Whenever we are arguing also, we want to have the right last word. Then we cannot be happy. Because that's where the confrontation and the conflict start. Give up your need for control. We cannot even control a small ant. And here we want to control other human beings. Give up on blame. Give up your self-defeating self-talk. Because you are talking to yourself and you are just putting yourself down. Give up your limiting beliefs. No matter what belief system you have, if somebody else has a different belief system, do not argue about it. But give up your limiting. If it's limiting you, give it up. Give up complaining. Give up the luxury of criticism. Give up your need to impress others. Looks like I'm going too fast. Okay. So give up the luxury of criticism and give up your need to impress others. Because a lot of times we just lose our own happiness and peace of mind. We want to impress others. We want to see how others rate us. Give up your resistance to change. Change is part of this nature. In nature, everything is changing, constantly changing. Don't resist it. Give up labels. That means don't label others. Americans do this and Indians do that. We label people. Women and men, we constantly put labels. Give up on your fears. Fear, in Sanskrit, it's called bhai. As long as we are afraid, we cannot be happy. Give up your excuses. Give up the past. Past is dead. That's why it's called dead as past. Learn from the past, but give it up. That is gone. You have moved on. Give up attachment. And this also Naradji talked about quite a bit in the Narad Bhakti Sutras, attachment. And the last one is give up living your life to other people's expectations. Okay? Have control over your life. So the goal is to become one with God. God wants us to become one with Him. But we can do it only if we work on ourselves. So these are some of the adjustments we need to make. Some of these adjustments are physical, but mainly they are mental. With the mind, we need to work on this. Because happiness or unhappiness, as I said earlier, it is in our mind. Outside, a person could be just like I said. There are no, millionaires keep on growing, but unhappiness keeps on growing too. So it is not dependent upon the outer things, whether it's fame or money or anything else in the external world. Okay, any question? But if you need to add something, subtract something, go ahead. That's fine. This is just a in nutshell, because we often talk about uh, happiness, because this is it's like a inclination we have as human beings, not just a human beings, even the other species too. We want to move towards the happiness, and we just don't want to. We want to sukh, not dukh. In scriptures, they say sukh pravriti and dukh nivriti. So we don't want to be dukhi, we want to be sukhi. But then we got to do something about it too. We got to learn, hey, how can I adjust myself so that I have a pravriti towards sukh only, the happy. Okay. So I think Shimi has a question. Shimi?
Smita.
Yes, Samita.
Yes, you might have mentioned about it, but I have not heard it. But there is one more thing to get happiness by doing social service. Go in
Seva.
the way, seva. And
Yes.
when you see other people suffering,
Yes.
you realize how happier you are, or you are then.
Yes. Yes, that's right. No, you're right. So see, that's it's included actually. You can include, I mean, you can make a separate point also, but it's included. It's like a kindness. When you're kind to others, without seva, we cannot be kind. So you can just add another point if you want to. Yes. Okay. So seva should be very much part of our life. We should take time out to do seva. We should not just wait over here that someday some magic will happen and I'll have the opportunity to do seva. We should go out of our comfort zone. No matter how busy we are, there should be some time for some kind of a seva. Whether we teach somebody, whether we go out and clean something, whether we just even sit down and pray for the others, that's a seva too. So there's so many different ways we can do seva. Okay, so good point. Anybody else? Yes, Shane. Unmute yourself. Unmute.
You have to.
Yeah, sorry. What was the last line you said? Give up your life. Don't give up your life for other people.
Give up living your life to others people's expectations.
Expectations. Okay. Mhm.
Yes, yes. Because if we know 10 people, 10 people will have a different expectations from us.
Yes. Uh-huh.
Okay. So
Mhm.
we don't have to put them down, but we should know what I
No.
want in life.
Yeah.
Right? Clarity has to be there in my own
Mhm.
mind. What do I want from my life? We don't have to
Mhm.
argue with others. Okay. Because
Yeah.
sometimes most of us live in with the relationships. So other people, they will say something to us, but we
Yeah.
should be well focused and have the skill of adjusting with others. Okay. So this is also a skill
Mhm.
to cultivate.
That's true. Mhm.
Yeah. Because if we constantly argue about something, then we cannot be happy either. Right? Yeah. Okay. Nishtha has
Thank
a question.
Hanji, namaste, Harshji.
Namaste.
I wanted to ask you, what about, I have a couple of people who are, I guess, going through depression. I've asked you this before also. And how do you, and it's very exhausting to keep on trying to get them to think positively or look at it positively. What is your thought on that? Like when it's clinically, how do you help somebody like this?
If somebody is clinically depressed, I think let the professionals do their job, because sometimes they do need a medicine. Let the medicine work on them. So we really cannot put them on the path of spirituality. Depression is really, it's a serious thing in the society. And they say it's going to become more and more so. So professionals should handle it, this depression. But if you live with somebody who's depressed or some friends you know, some of these ideas which I gave today, maybe you can implement those with them. Exercise, just encourage them to exercise. Encourage them to just sit down and listen to some good talk. Encourage them to just get involved in some form of a seva. Go to the temple and just do some cleaning over there, just at some very small level. So it all depends what kind of a relationship and what kind of a power you have over them. Can you ask them to do it or not? Okay, but definitely it's a serious issue, this depression. It's a it's really sad, but it's a disease. It's a disease and it should be treated properly.
Thank you.
Okay. Yes, anybody else? I think Kim has a question.
Kim has a question.
Yes, good morning, Guruji.
Good morning. Good morning, Kim.
So I have a question about the first one, don't hold grudges. So we all know that it's not good for us to hold grudges against others or ourselves. And yet it's so hard to let that go. And sometimes you think you've let it go, and then years later it comes back into your mind, when you're upset. And so you haven't truly let it go. So I wonder if you can talk about how to let these things go, right? How to forgive
Yes,
others.
how to forgive and how to let go of the grudges. It's almost like if you want to prepare a land to plant something and there are weeds. What do? You just get rid of the weeds. And again, you have planted something, weed comes again. What do? You pull it out again and throw it away. These grudges are like that. We are holding it in. So if we see it after 5 years or after a year or after a week, again something comes up, just have some kind of a system. Sometimes it works to write it down and let it go. Okay? So or burn it. Write it down. What kind of a grudge I have towards somebody? Write it down, burn it. And symbolically, you are saying, I'm letting it go. And again, if it comes, do it again, that exercise. Okay? So,
Okay.
so because ultimately, if we keep our mind or an eye on the ultimate goal, these small issues, they just become weaker and weaker and weaker. Okay? It's just like a soil well prepared. Still something will come up and you pull it out or you'll spray something on it and again you will have a better crop. And once you have a crop growing, those weeds you don't even pay attention to. Once you see your own growth is happening,
Yes.
you are moving forward towards your ultimate goal, small things are so insignificant. Whether somebody said something or did something or didn't do something, very insignificant. You can just let it go.
Right.
Okay, so learn that habit of letting it go. It's not important. My goal is to become one.
Yes. So we shouldn't expect it to all go away at once. It's okay if
No. Some things will not go away. It all depends on how deep the roots are.
I see. Yes.
You
Thank
know the crab grass? It has the roots everywhere. No matter how much you pull it out, you'll still find somewhere it will grow. So it's almost like a crab grass. So don't expect that it will go away. And it's not somebody else's job. Sometimes we think that other people should say sorry. No, it's not somebody else's job. They don't even have to say sorry. We have to just let it go. It's our job. Okay, it's not important to us. Okay, so
Thank
just
you.
keep on working. Good question. Yes, Samita ji. Yes.
First thing, that you cannot change anyone.
Yes,
You
that's right.
cannot change anyone. And as you said, that you have to think how I can adjust to the situation. This
Right.
is- and
Right.
many times that is the cause of holding the grudges.
Yeah. Yeah, it's our journey. If we can get help from somebody, fine. But it's our journey. We got to take responsibility. We got to sit in the driver's seat. Okay. So, anybody else? Good questions. And I'm see like thinking about it. This is the first step. Okay. And then we implement all these ideas in our mind. It's not that all of a sudden we'll be the happiest people, but at least we know. We know the know-hows. We implemented them. Yes, Prem. Prem has a question. Prem, if you have a question, unmute yourself, please.
Hershey, it sounds like what you're saying is that happiness is actually a decision. It's a choice that we make. No matter what happens, I'm going to be happy.
Yep.
That's one thing that I think we've talked about in this class also, and I've read other places also, that it's a decision. The other thing that's a big one that we've talked in this class also is that the expectation that we have from others, when they're not fulfilled, they make us very unhappy.
Yes.
And yeah,
Because we are making our happiness dependent upon somebody else.
somebody else.
So happiness should be our decision. That's why in the beginning, what did I say? That though there are
Exactly.
people who choose to be happy and those who choose to be unhappy.
It's a choice.
It's a choice. It's our choice. We got to write it down somewhere where we can see it every day.
Happiness is my choice.
Happiness is my choice, whether it's raining or whether it's sunshine. Whether I have a $1 million in my account or I am bankrupt, I can still be happy or unhappy.
Happy or unhappy, right?
Yes, yes. Okay. Because
Right.
happiness is not dependent. Actually, happiness is our real nature.
That's right. That's right.
So when we are unhappy, we have moved ourselves away from our real nature. That's why I brought that Anand word in there for you guys to think about. What is God's name? Sat Chit Anand. God is all happiness. Nothing but happiness. There's no opposite of Anand.
That's our nature.
Anand, and that is our nature too. Okay, so that's why I must have repeated this several times in so many classes.
Yeah.
That do everything happily instead for happiness. Do happy. Wash
So
the
don't have happiness. Hershey, are you saying also don't have that goal of happiness, but give it a given that you are happy and then do things happily?
Yeah, you happily do everything happily, whether outcome is conducive or non-conducive. Do it happily. Do exercise happily. Eat happily. Sleep happily. Do seva happily. Everything happily.
Things come easier when you do that way, right?
Oh yeah, life becomes a joy, and life is a joy. Life should not be a burden. Life is a joy. Okay.
Thank you.
Um, I'm looking for a singer today because normally Rita sings, but she had to go somewhere today. So,
Is Nishta still there? Nishta?